Hello everyone, this is Benjamin T. Collier, also known as Poison Darth Frog, back with a Marvel Cosmic Invasion video with something of a PSA, in addition to a list of suggestions for the developers. Mostly positive, but also based on complaints. But firstly, a piece of advice for anybody who might be picking up this game for the first time. Because I have, since my coverage of campaign mode, I have checked out arcade mode and have reached the conclusion that arcade mode is the way to experience this game. And that by going through campaign mode, I was actually doing things completely wrong. Because as people who watched my coverage of this game will be aware, I did not actually enjoy my time with this game as much as I was expecting to, for one particular primary reason, in that campaign mode, as best as I can see, does not have difficulty selection. Yeah, see, in arcade mode, this would be the screen where you press, I think, square on PlayStation to get options to be able to modify your experience. That's not in campaign mode. You don't get any options here. The game is stuck set to the normal difficulty, and inevitably I spent a lot of time comparing this game to Shredder's Revenge, which I enjoyed much more immensely. I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but primarily Shredder's Revenge had difficulty selection, and that allowed me to make my experience more casual going through that game than with this one. Not that I'm complaining that there is the option to be challenged. Like, most games should have that feature. But usually it's an option, and you can choose if you want to challenge or if you want to play more casually. I went into this expecting a more casual experience. And the amount of character selection and the fact that you have to pick a team, not just one character, implies that the game is encouraging experimentation. But I found by about the midpoint of the game, both of these stages were nightmares to me. So how far into the game is that? Tutorial stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so... yeah, so by, arcade standards, this would be, stage 5 out of 11, so not even halfway through the game. The difficulty is crazy. They expect you by this point to not be experimenting anymore, and to be to know who your best characters are and just be sticking with them. And not bother swapping out characters for any of the rest of the game. That's how it feels to me. You're supposed to already be a pro at this by about halfway through the game. And not bother checking out any of the rest of this cast. And that seems odd. But arcade mode is different. Let's go over that. Arcade mode, so there you can see there's a button for a joystick, and that represents modifiers. Oh, look at that! Difficulty! You can choose between easy, medium, and hard. What a novel concept. But, and most importantly, arcade mode has free play. Which, if you're familiar with ports of arcade games, like the original arcade games, not modified, free play means you have infinite lives. So the difficulty setting does not even matter here, as long as you've got free play. I mean, yeah, you'll still die, but you just keep going. And I've done the testing. You can die, lose both of your characters mid-stage and continue from that point in the stage. The game doesn't set you back to the beginning of the stage when you run out of lives. And that also is a very big deal. No lost progress. Even if you're finding the game challenging, no lost progress. You can just keep going. But free play is actually not available by default, and that's where the rest of this PSA comes in. Because the way you get it is through the vault, the Cosmic Matrix. There's 10 things in here, the yellow cubes, that are specifically arcade modifiers. They're things you can turn on and off to change how arcade mode works. The very first one, in fact it's number 1, is free play for arcade mode. And I think, yeah, if you go over empty spaces, you can see I haven't unlocked every Cosmic Cube yet. They give you the number. They tell you the number of the slot before you spend the Cosmic Cube to unlock it. And so if you have a guide of what numbers to go to, that's how you do it. When I was looking for specific things, I just went by a pattern, because they did seem to be arranged in mostly a pattern. The yellow and purple at least. Which means that you do need to find at least one Cosmic Cube before you can actually unlock infinite lives for arcade mode. But that's easily done. Now, one thing I don't know, and I'm hoping somebody out there can verify this for me, because I don't, like, again, I found this game difficult. I don't want to delete all my save information, start everything over again just to find out. But can someone verify for me whether or not unlocking a character in arcade mode unlocks them permanently for campaign and arcade mode, or if they still have to be unlocked individually in their missions in campaign mode? Because if so, if the things that you unlock in arcade mode stick, then as far as unlocking the content, there's no need to even touch campaign mode. Except for this one particular thing. So my advice for anybody picking this game up for the first time, or anybody who like played this for a bit and struggled with it, my advice as far as how to best experience this game is this. You go into campaign mode. You do Nova Cruiser, which is the tutorial. So like, it's something you're gonna want to do anyway. You do just the tutorial. You find the one Cosmic Cube in the tutorial. Now, I missed it my first time through it because I didn't know what to look for. It's just a green glitter in the background. If you know to look for that, it's hard to miss. That will give you one Cosmic Cube. Once you're done the tutorial, and you have that one Cosmic Cube, and know the basics of how to play the game, you exit campaign mode. Go to the vault. Go to Cosmic Matrix. Go up 1 from the green thing. Go to space number 1 and spend the Cosmic Cube there. That will give you infinite lives for arcade mode. And then you just play arcade mode. And that, I think, personally, is the way to play this game. Like, if you're looking for a more casual experience, which I was looking for, and you don't want to be worried about dying and having to do the whole stage over again, arcade mode with free play on is the way to play this game. Now, you don't get the cinematics, but if you're just here for the gameplay, it has all the gameplay. I think you still get the end credit scene, like the satisfaction of a job well done, but you don't get the cinematic transitions between stages. Now, with that in mind, with this shift in perspective that I've had from campaign mode being the intended gameplay experience to arcade mode being rather the intended gameplay experience, I have some suggestions for the developers. as far as modifiers to add to this game.